Do you use this free? And nope, it's not AI. Everybody's talking about AI these days, and I use it a little bit, but I think that the real power in growing and building and supersizing and scaling your business is in using AI to help you do certain things, but not letting it replace you. I've got a little beef with all this. Create your AI twin to do all these things for you. It's great for some businesses and some industries, but it isn't if you're trying to build a brand for your business and to be known as the industry leader in your business. Anyway, not going to talk about AI today. We are talking about the P in our SOAP framework, which isn't the tool I'm talking about today either, but it's an important tool. So let's talk about that first. The P stands for progress. How do I know I'm making progress? How do I know I'm filling that gap between where I am and where I want to be with the area of communication that we decided that we would work on and soap up this week? Well, I chose listening, 2 ears, 1 mouth for a reason, because I come from a long line of bad listeners, but big talkers. And so I want to always be improving and continually improving my listening skills. And today's tool helps us do that. But what we want to do as progress today is find a way to measure whether we are making progress or not. How do we know if we're filling the gap in the communication area we're working on or not? By measuring it. Now, some things are difficult to measure. Measuring whether I'm becoming a better listener or not is a very subjective thing. Only I will know if I am or not. Only I will know if my exchanges, my communication, my discussions, whatever, my phone calls, my sales calls, my any kind of communication I'm doing, am I listening more than I am speaking? And that leads us into, and so share in the comments below how you're going to measure whether you're making progress on the thing that you're improving or not. Again, I'm just probably going to journal it or keep track of it and make notes in my journals and my notebooks because I haven't thought of a way yet, but I'll think of a way to measure it too. So what is our tool today? This free tool that isn't AI. It is something called I statements. I statements are, I feel blank, some kind of emotion, when blank, some kind of behavior happens because this is how it impacts me, blank. And I forget to use I statements. I'm going to be really honest with that. I just talk sometimes and don't use I feel blank when blank, because it seems like it takes longer, but it actually doesn't. It actually builds understanding instead of placing blame, instead of trying to give other people to take responsibility for our feelings and our experiences. We actually say, no, I'm taking back my personal power. I'm keeping my experiences and I'm going to impact the way things experience me. And that is such a powerful position to come from. We can do it in a customer conversation. You know, I feel disrespect. That might be a bad one. I feel disappointed when you don't pay your invoices on time because it negatively impacts our cash flow. Probably not going to say that to your customer, but don't you think it? I feel disrespected in staff meetings when people are late because it means we can't get started on time and we can't accomplish all the things we want to accomplish in today's staff meeting. I don't have a problem calling people out for being late to staff meetings. I used to, in corporate America, be in meetings so many hours of the day, and it was the least productive time of my career was spent in meetings. I think people think that they're doing something and taking action and accomplishing something by meeting, but staff meetings were not the way to accomplish that. Sure, we got a lot done, but we could have gotten a lot more done if we sent out an agenda and then just touched base for a few minutes staff meeting instead of a half day or all day staff meeting every week. So I feel frustrated when things don't go the way I want them to. Who am I going to blame that on? Myself, because it's always up to us to decide how things are going to go. Hi, Marge. So today, what are we going to do? We're going to practice I statements. I am going to practice I statements. I feel blank. Whatever the emotion is that you're feeling, just be honest about it. You know, I feel frustrated when we spend time in staff meetings spinning our wheels because people aren't doing the things that they've committed to doing in a timely fashion. Zinger. I'm taking ownership and responsibility for when I don't show up on time, but I'm also holding other people accountable to the same standard. We tend to try to be an example and set an example for people, thinking that that is enough, that they will do what we do. In some instances, they will, and high achievers will do that. They'll model your good behaviors, but everybody else won't. And guess what? Only about 3% of people are high achievers, right? So that means the other 97% of the people that you're interacting with, you have to have a more powerful, better way of doing that. And one of the most powerful free tools you can use is I statements. I feel blank. I feel an emotion. I feel it. I own my emotion. I'm not putting it on you. I'm not blaming you. But when you might happen to do this negative behavior, I choose to feel upset about this because that's what we're saying. I've decided that when you act this way, I'm going to feel this way. So you need to stop doing, that's the blaming game, right? Let's not do that anymore because we are responsible for our own reactions and for our own emotions. Nobody else can control those for us. And why would we ever want to give our power away by letting them? I did that for a lot of years in a relationship. I gave away my personal power and let the other person's negative emotions run rampant in our relationship. Don't do that in business. Don't do that in your life. So what are we going to do today? We're going to share in the comments below how we're going to measure progress on the communication area we're improving. I got to come up with one too. And secondly, practice and try an I statement on somebody today. How about, I noticed you missed the deadline. That's not really an I feel blank statement, but the feel is coming. I noticed you missed a deadline without giving, and that's still kind of accusatory, isn't it? I feel disappointed when you miss a deadline and don't communicate it to the other team members of the team because it puts our project timeline behind. And if we had a little more advance notice, we could do other things to make sure that we don't lose track of the project and overrun budgets and take too much time. That's kind of messy, but I think you understand what I'm talking about. I hope so. All right. That's it. That's our action items for today. Action items. I know 2 instead of 1. Can you handle it? Of course you can. All right. Have an awesome day. If I can help you in any way, ask. Send me some I feel statements. You can practice on me. Put them in the comments below and I will comment on them. Otherwise, go out and make it an awesome day. And I will, of course, be with you tomorrow. Bye.